Shalom, Kol Limelight, Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai Bashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And a sincere shalom to the 144,000 and 1/3. Now, the Spirit hopped on me as of lately with all this Jeffrey Epstein news to dive a little bit deeper into his history. And when you look at all that he's done, this goes to show you that Amalek, all right, the small hatters and Esau as a whole are not as in trouble as Jake is, and even these other nations like Moab and Elam. Now, in this article, what stuck out to me the most, let me see if I can find it again. Bear with me. Okay, boom. Here it is. Epstein pleads guilty, this is 2008, to state charges of solicitation of prostitution and of solicitation of prostitution with a minor, right? So that's someone under the age of 18, and is sentenced to 18 months in a minimum security facility. But it gets better, right? But the wealthy businessman is allowed to leave for 12 hours a day to work at a foundation that he had recently incorporated, according to the Justice Department. So guess what? He did PDF file stuff, pled guilty, all right, to this PDF file stuff, all right, prostitution at that. And guess what he gets? 18 months at a minimum security facility. And he didn't have to stay there, but only what? 12 hours? So he realistically only had to go to sleep there, maybe wind down, drink a nice hot chocolate, hop on the Xbox or whatever, and then go to sleep. And then then he wakes up and then he gets to leave, right? So the scriptures bear truth. Because let's get this right here. This is Psalms, the 73rd chapter. And it has a title, The End of the Wicked Contrasted with That of the Righteous. All right. This is verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Yeah, Esau is wicked as all hell. He has islands. He has these super yachts, these mega yachts. He has the ability to plead guilty to heinous acts. And wait. It gets better. Epstein is released after serving less than 13 months. So he'd even get, you do something heinous, all right, that the society frowns down upon. You get a minimum sentence. You basically still retain your freedom, and you don't even serve the full sentence. Come on, man. Look at this. Billionaire, all right. He's above the law virtually, because you best believe that he apparently what supposedly happened to him, truth be told, he's probably still alive, all right, in our land, okay, new identity, whatever, enjoying the rest of his days. You really think he was put to death? Come on. You really think he was put to death? There's no way. This is insanity, man. Let's keep reading. Verse 4. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Yeah, so even when Esau dies, his wealth just transfers to his Edomite children, okay? His power seat transfers to his children. Because all these Rothschilds, all right, which, by the way, are found in these Epstein files. Okay, these rulers of society we don't even know about, they keep it in the family. It's been whistleblowers come out saying that they even inbreed with each other. All right, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, whatever. They inbreed. They took keeping in the family literally. All right, and they're super rich, trillionaires. Whatever is after trillionaires, they're super rich. You got the Rothschild Islands, which they say aren't even connected to the Rothschilds or something like that, or nothing is going on there. Come on. You really think nothing's going on in them Rothschild Islands? All right. You got the Epstein Island. What do you think going on in the Rothschild Islands? And by the way, they're in Antarctica, the North Pole. So, and guess what? The North Pole is restricted, but guess what? They're above the law. So guess what? They in Antarctica, ain't nobody pulling up. But guess what? Guess what? The elect gonna pull up. All right, the Elohim gonna pull up. Your house shy gonna pull up. Okay, these devils need to be taken out of the power seat. Verse 5. This is the main point. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Yeah, imagine if this was Jake. Look what they did to Diddy. He did prostitution too, right? Of course, he had the Mann Act put against him, but I'm pretty sure Epstein was moving women across state lines too. Did he get hit with the Mann Act? Nope. Diddy did. Diddy got hit with the Mann Act. Now, the Mann Act, initially when it was first created, was if you had a woman, doesn't matter if it's your girlfriend, doesn't matter if it's your wife, all right? You could have your wife and let's say you live in Georgia, and then you go to Florida and you have sex with your wife in a hotel, you could go to jail for that. And the whole law was created to criminally, vaguely attack people that they just didn't like. They created the law because there was a Jake, I think he was a boxer, forgot his name. I did a video on it before. He was a boxer, like, early mid 20th century, 1910, 1920, whatever. And he was a boxer, he was making good money. I think he was the first so-called black man to have a car or something like that. And he was wealthy. He had a so-called white woman wife, and the FBI. Also, by the way, the FBI or the CIA, I think it was the FBI. The FBI was created because of him. They disliked Jake so much that they created the FBI, man. All right, look it up. Okay, this is what the hatred of Esau is. You create a whole federal bureau and have to make up BS laws to let's get that, man, because that's scriptural. Frameth mischief by law. Now, over time, with the Mann Act, they took it away. They took away the madness. All right, because madness only lasts so long. All right, being wicked, having BS only lasts so long. All right, so with the Mann Act in the 70s or somewhere around there, they changed it to where if it only applies if you're transporting men or women, but of course it's going to be mainly about women. The Mann Act isn't how it used to be, where if it's your wife or just a woman in general, that is being brought across the border and having sex, now you're going to jail for having sex with her, which is madness, right? Now it's prostitution, meaning if you are a pimp or anything similar that deals with prostitution, and you move the prostitute or the woman across state lines, the border, right? Because state lines are just borders. If you move them across those lines, so you go from Texas to Oklahoma, and then you pay her or you're a pimp or whatever, that is the Mann Act now. So it's not just any old woman. All right. So this is Psalms 94 and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Yeah, that's mischief. All right. You move a couple inches all right, across the land, and now you're getting 15, 20 years in jail for having sex with your wife or just a woman you met that day or your girlfriend. Come on, man. All right. And that's what Esau had in place for several decades. Now, of course, back then it was it could only possibly be used against people they just didn't like, because they didn't just use it against Jake. They used it against other Edomites too. It was some politician had his wife um had his wife traveling from Milwaukee to, I think, Oregon by train, because he I guess he lived in Oregon to make more money as a politician, and the FBI or whatever found wind of it, and he got, I think he had a mistress too that he would move in. Actually, no. He had a mistress from Milwaukee, so a side chick that would meet him in Oregon, and the FBI told his wife about it, and the wife worked with the FBI or whatever, and he got caught in that jam from his mistress. So Esau's a damn devil, man. I mean, think about it. He's gonna try to force people to implant themselves to become cyborg slaves. This is the devil right here. And Jeffrey Epstein, he's an Amalekite. He's a small hat, tiny top. All right, let's end that off right here. This is Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked on Amalek, all right, this dude you see on the screen, Alexander the Great, Macedon, all right. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said Amalek was the first of the nations. Yeah, these small hats, they on top. They run the banks. They run Babylon the Great. They run in our land, right? Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Yeah, because Amalek is the chief tribe of the Edomites, and the Edomites are going to be exterminated. Okay, because that's the will of the Most High Yahweh. It's going to be no more so-called white people, all right, because the Edomites are so-called white people. And of course, they're not white. You look at Jeffrey Epstein, he's not the color of his shirt or the background of the photo, all right? He's red, all right? And that's what Edom means, by the way. It means red people. So with that, shalom.